Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Two big breaking stories. One from Sky Sports confirming that Arsenal have received two bids for Emre Smith. One from Crystal Palace, another from Fulham as well. Both bids have been rejected, but both clubs are expected to come back with better offers. Arsenal have also now clarified on their transfer strategy. The strategy is going to involve signing players that are above the age of 25. Now, usually, Arsenal's transfer strategy has been signing players below the age of 25 to make sure that these players have a resale value and also longevity. However, this summer, Arsenal are looking at the possibility of getting in players that could change the squad above the age of 25. We're going to be explaining why that is very crucial for Arsenal's striker search, as many of the strikers that are really good on the market are above the age of 25. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and let's get into the content together. So let's start off with the Emre Smith, who was just confirmed with Sky Sports that Arsenal have rejected two bids from Fulham and Crystal Palace for forward Emre Smith. Discussions are ongoing, at both clubs to see whether they go back with improved offers to Arsenal. Smith wants to assess all his options this summer. Regular first team football is going to be a primary motivation for the player. Emre Smith via Sky Sports. That is confirmed. Arsenal have received two bids from Fulham for Emre Smith. Arsenal, I want to expand on that story because it has been expounded on by other sources, the Mail, and also other outlets apart from Sky Sports. Of course, Sky Sports did very well to break the story, but they're also saying that Arsenal are well and truly ready to sell Emre Smith this summer for a fee that rises to 47 million euros. That's around 40 million pounds. The only club that wants to pay anywhere close to that is Fulham this summer, and therefore Crystal Palace might not be the serious contender that we actually thought. So a lot is going on. Like I said early this morning, Arsenal are always going to try to get their business done this week. Arsenal are going to have a lot of business going on this week, and I'm very, very surprised that the Emre Smith bids have actually been turned down, and we have not seen, improved bids right away, because this is the week that Arsenal are going to be serious. This is the week that Arsenal are going to be 100% busy in terms of selling, but also in terms of buying. This is the week that leads to preseason. We expect a lot of things to happen in these 7 days. But let's start off with the bids first and foremost. I think Emre just puts it very clearly. The player wants to assess all his options this summer. He's going to look into staying at Arsenal. He's going to look into walking away. He's going to look at going on loan. All options are going to be considered. Now, Fulham, it is reported that they have brought in an offer that Arsenal think could be you would say a bid that shows strength and determination, and Arsenal think that Fulham are going to come back with a better offer because their offer was around 25 million or slightly below 25 million. With Crystal Palace, their offer was happily ridiculous, and Arsenal are happy to turn it away. We know that Marco Silva at Fulham has made Emre Smith a priority target, and we also know that teams don't bid for a player unless that player is really and truly available on the market and that player is open to a move. So I think with Emre Smith, Arsenal have already made up their mind, and also Emre Smith he's got to make up his mind. He's got to move on, and I'm happy that he's now willing to look in all directions. He's now willing to go. What about Fulham? Are they going to give me game time? What about Crystal Palace? Are they going to give me game time? What about Arsenal? Am I going to get game time? Because for Arsenal, we are not going to play him. We are not going to give him the game time that he wants as a player. We're not going to give him the game time that he deserves as a player. That is already confirmed. When you think about what Mikel is even trying to do in that area, trying to sign a left winger, trying to sign Mikel Merino in midfield, trying to do a couple of changes in his positions, it's clear to see that he might be part of the plan, but is not a significant part of the plan though he was in 2020, maybe 2021 and 2022. The plan is evolved, the plan has moved on, and Emre Smith is now among the less important and less appreciated parts of this Arsenal squad. Now, I'm not saying that Arsenal should kick him out, Arsenal should throw him away. I think this is a very good opportunity and good moment for Arsenal to make very good money out of Emre Smith. Clubs want him. I doubt that they'll give us 40 million that we are asking for, but I think a deal between 35 million pounds and 38 million pounds can be agreed, and it will be agreed between Arsenal and Fulham this summer. I don't want to take Crystal Palace seriously unless this deal is going to involve the Eberechi as a deal. But if Arsenal are not really going to involve the Eberechi as a deal with Crystal Palace, I don't see Palace pay 40 million for ESR. I don't even think they need him, in my opinion. I think it's Fulham that we should be negotiating with. They have the real money, they have sold Joao Palhinha, they have the cash, they have the Muller, and we should be squeezing that Muller out of them. So I expect more offers from even other clubs. I expect Fulham to come back. I expect Crystal Palace to come back with better offers. But I think this one, Arsenal are going to sell Emre Smith right this summer. Guys, it's close. It's close. You can see it. You can feel it. The moment clubs start bidding and you reject and they are preparing to come back, you know that you're going to sell that player. You know that that player is gone. And for ESR, if whether he stays or leaves, I love him as a player. I love him very much. I'm so happy to ever seen him play in the Arsenal colours. Otherwise, we wouldn't have believed that he was real. We would never believe that he was that talented. But I think this Arsenal project is quickly evolving and quickly going into stages that players like Emre Smith Rowe cannot satisfy at the moment. Now, according to James Bank, he has also given us a wonderful update on Arsenal's transfer strategy this summer and how it has changed and how we are looking to recruit in terms of incoming players. So, according to James Bank, he says that sources close to Arsenal expect a summer where the profile of new recruits is more akin or more towards or inclined towards Jorginho and Trossard, two experienced additions who arrived at a later stage of their career than a sporting director typically looks to recruit such kind of profiles. James Bank also continues to say that it is worth saying from the outset that part of the reason for this sort of recruitment approach this summer means that if a team changing star would become available or would become a possibility, Arsenal would be more flexible to get them into the squad. So this is what we're talking about. We're saying that Arsenal are willingly bending their rules, are willingly bending their strategy this summer to go from recruit only under 25, recruit only 24 and below, to recruiting 25 and above as well. This doesn't mean that we're going to sign old players only. Obviously, like I said, Ricardo Calafiori is 22 and Arsenal are 100% trying to get that deal done. Nico Williams is there and we've been trying to get that deal done as well. And also other players, the likes of Eberechi Eze. But what this means is that now Arsenal have matured into the mixed stage approach, right? The mixed approach stage. And what this means is literally that you can go and sign young players or players that are just entering their prime, and these players have their own advantages. They have energy, they have a future, they have a high ceiling, resale value is high. Look at Nuno Tavares and how Arsenal have managed to get 9 million out of his sale. If Nuno Tavares had come into Arsenal at 27, spent 2 years at the club and spent maybe 1 year on loan out there, he would be 30 by now. You wouldn't actually get 9 million. So Arsenal are able to recoup that 9 million because he's young and his resale value is still very, very high. So Arsenal is saying we're still going to look into this strategy. We're still going to sign players below the age of 25 if the market really brings them. So Nico Williams, if we can get the chance to sign him, we will get him. Ricardo Calafiori, if we get a chance to sign him, we'll get him. But also now we have reached the point in our strategy where we have to look at the older men approach. We have to look at the older players approach. We can no longer look at the young players and say, wow, this is impressive. We don't want any older players. We just want young players. This is what we want to do only. Arsenal have reached the stage where we have to go and bring in players that improve the squad instantly. And that means that players that improve your squad instantly might not be always under the age of 24 or 25. You might get a 27-year-old guy like Dave Dreyer that improves the squad massively, and he's an upgrade on an Aaron Ramsdale, who's a little bit younger. So you go and do that deal. Mikel Merino, 28. If he's an upgrade to what you have in midfield, you go and do the deal. But what is very important before we talk into Mikel Merino, because this is Mikel Arteta. This is Mikel Arteta bending the rules so that he can sign a 28-year-old Mikel Merino. But before you get angry and before you get surprised, why are we changing our whole strategy to sign some old bunch of guys? This is why this is important. James Bank says that the whole essence of this is that if a team changing star were to become a possibility, Arsenal would have more flexibility to go and get them into the squad. Strikers. This strategy. I'm not saying that Arsenal are now bending their rules for strikers. I'm saying this strategy really works very well if Arsenal want to sign a sensible striker this summer. Think about it or imagine this. Ivan Toney, how old is he? 26, 27, 28. Victor Gyökeres, 26. Victor Osimhen, 25. The sensible strikers that Arsenal could sign this summer and bring them into the squad and elevate the level of the squad instantly, all of them, they are above the age of 25. All of them are 25 and above. So if Arsenal are going to stick with their strategy of we don't want to sign anyone above the age of 25, we want to sign players that are younger, and that is our transfer policy. It is a good transfer policy, but we are going to miss out on some market opportunities. There is a market opportunity in Victor Gyökeres, he's 26. There's a market opportunity in Victor Osimhen, he's 25. And there's a market opportunity in Ivan Toney, who is 27. And I think Mikel Arteta, for me, right here, when it comes to the striker part, he's absolutely spot on. Because any of the players that I've just mentioned, if they come in at Arsenal right now, they massively elevate our quality. They massively elevate our chances of winning the Premier League and even winning the Champions League. If you're looking for one player that would, I think, stretch the quality of one Arsenal department this summer, that would be a striker. That would be Gyökeres, that would be Osimhen. So it means now Arsenal are very much prepared for any movements on the striker market. Should the price of Osimhen come down, we will be there. Victor Gyökeres, should Sporting Lisbon change their thoughts and thinking process in terms of how much they want for the player and also how much they want in fixed fees and bonuses, Arsenal will be ready to pounce. I like this strategy. It necessarily doesn't mean that Arsenal are going to sign very old players, but it means that we are going to be ready for any market opportunities that will be available. Now, let's talk about Mikel Arteta and his boy, right? Let's talk about Mikel Arteta and his boy, Mikel Merino, because this is all about Mikel Merino. I don't want to lie. This is all about Mikel Merino. And when you look at this article here by James Bank on CBS, they're saying Arsenal's interest in Spanish midfielder Mikel Merino is an example of the Ghana's new strategy, right? So I think what Mikel Arteta has done here is he has actually managed to bend the will of the club into his will. I think Mikel knows that there are other players that can play in the 8. You have Eze can play there, so you can get him. You have so many other players that you can go and get in the 8. But his priority is to sign Mikel Merino. He wants Mikel Merino. He is the player that he wants as manager. So what do you do? You go and tell the board that, hey guys, we don't need to sign only young players anymore. We can go and sign older players now. And when the board says, yes, that's a very good idea, you bring in Mikel Merino. Genius from Mikel Arteta, fantastic genius from Mikel Arteta, fantastic stuff. I don't have a problem with Mikel Merino. Like I said, if the manager is 100% convinced that this is the guy that improves the project and this is the guy that takes Arsenal into title-winning levels, which I don't think he is, but if the manager believes it, then I will believe it as well. Because this manager has got so many things right for us to doubt him, for me to doubt him. I don't have a reason to doubt Mikel Arteta, but I have a reason to believe in Mikel Arteta, especially with his recruitment. Maybe in terms of winning trophies, this season is going to be very crucial for me to believe him and trust him or not. But at least at the moment, I've got to say, I'm going to trust the manager. I'm going to trust what Edu and Mikel Arteta are cooking, and I think the strategy is good. I remember talking about Kimmich, and I said I don't think Arsenal are at a stage where we should be fixated on only younger players. I think we're at a stage where we bring in stars that can massively impact the level of the squad and the standards of this squad. And I think Kimmich at 29 impacts the level of the squad. Mikel Merino at 28. Mikel Arteta believes that he impacts the level of the squad. Gyökeres at 26 massively improves us up front. Osimhen at 25 massively improves us up front, and a couple of other players that you would even think of or you've not even thought about. So and even in midfield, if Arsenal wanted to go and do a deal like Fabian Ruiz, I don't know why. I think Mikel Arteta's defensive fixation on defensive cleanliness is why we're going for Mikel Merino over Fabian Ruiz. But if Arsenal even went and got Fabian Ruiz from that Spanish side, I think he's at PSG right now, not even playing enough football, that would be a marvelous move. But guys, let's see what the market is going to bring. But I can say and I can confirm that anything that happens, will be jumping in it together. At the moment, well, we have got bids for Emre Smith Rowe, his future. Chop. Looks like it's gonna be very interesting. See you tomorrow. Ciao.